pulled you straight out of your sleep and pulled you straight out of your sleep and left you wondering what your body was trying to tell you. I hear stories like this almost every day, and if it sounds familiar, you are not alone. One of my patients, a sweet woman in her late 70s, once told me she felt betrayed by her legs. She stretched every morning, drank plenty of water, took her magnesium like clockwork, and avoided long walks when she felt tired. Still, the cramps kept coming, sometimes even worse on days when she tried to be extra careful. For months, she blamed her age and quietly accepted that this was simply part of getting older. But when new research came out and we reviewed it together, she realized something surprising. The cause of her cramps had nothing to do with dehydration or a lack of electrolytes. It was something far more subtle and something she had never even considered. I want you to imagine this. What if the real reasons behind your leg cramps have been hiding in plain sight? What if the explanations we've all believed for decades are only part of the story? And what if the latest scientific studies reveal triggers that most seniors overlook completely? For years, leg cramps were blamed almost entirely on dehydration or low minerals. But new research shows a much more complex picture involving nerve sensitivity, blood flow changes, temperature shifts, posture habits, vitamin imbalances, and even tiny daily movements that irritate the muscles long before the cramp hits. Muscles, nerves, and circulation work like a team, and when just one of them is thrown off balance, the result can be those painful nighttime spasms so many seniors struggle with. Most importantly, leg cramps are not failures or signs of weakness. They are the body's signals, asking for attention, balance, and support. In this video, we will explore the newest findings researchers want seniors to know. My hope is that by the end, you will understand what your body has been trying to communicate and how small changes can bring real relief. Before we begin, please subscribe, like, and share. Senior Health Daily, so you never miss valuable guidance that supports your well-being. What new research reveals about leg cramps? When I look back at the decades I've spent caring for older adults, one thing has always stood out. Leg cramps are far more complex than most people realize. And now, new research is finally catching up to what so many of my patients have felt for years. Scientists are discovering that leg cramps are not simply a matter of dehydration or low magnesium. In many cases, they begin much deeper, inside the nerves themselves. As we age, the protective insulation that surrounds our nerves naturally thins. This makes the nerves more sensitive, more reactive, and more likely to misfire during rest. Recent studies show that this nerve hyperexcitability is one of the leading foundations of nighttime cramping. It explains why a muscle can suddenly seize even when your hydration is perfect and your mineral levels look normal. We now understand that circulation plays a far greater role than anyone expected. Research shows that when blood flow dips even slightly during sleep, the muscles in the lower legs don't receive the oxygen they need. In younger adults, the body compensates easily. In seniors, the drop is enough to push the muscles into a vulnerable state where cramps develop with little warning. But what fascinates me most is how new studies highlight connections few people ever considered. Foot mechanics, sleep posture, the way the brain communicates with the muscles at night. Even subtle metabolic shifts that happen quietly with age. Each one plays a part in creating the perfect storm that leads to leg cramps. These insights have changed the way we understand cramping, and they open the door to solutions that older research never addressed. Why seniors experience more cramps? As we move deeper into this topic, I want to share something many seniors never hear clearly enough. Leg cramps become more common with age, not because your body is failing, but because it is changing. And those changes can make your nerves and muscles react differently to things that once felt effortless. After age 60, the nerves that control your leg muscles fire more easily. Their natural insulation thins over time, much like the protective covering on an old wire. When that insulation becomes weaker, the nerves become excitable and more prone to sending sudden signals that trigger a cramp. This is one of the biggest reasons nighttime cramps are so common in older adults. Your muscles are also adjusting. They lose elasticity more quickly as the years pass, which means they tighten faster and take longer to recover from strain. A simple walk around the block, or standing in one position for too long, can create a level of tension that your younger body would have released without hesitation. Circulation plays a major role as well. Blood vessels in older adults react strongly to temperature and pressure changes. When circulation slows during rest, the muscles receive less oxygen and become far more sensitive. And then there are habits that many seniors adopt without realizing their impact. Avoiding water in the evening to reduce bathroom trips, taking medications like statins, diuretics, or beta blockers that subtly affect nerves or mineral balance. When all of these pieces come together, the result is a body that is simply more vulnerable to sudden cramping, even when you feel like you're doing everything right. New findings on nerve-based cramps. As we look closer at the newest scientific findings, one message becomes clear. Many leg cramps begin in the nerves long before the muscle ever tightens. This is a shift from what most seniors were taught years ago, when cramps were blamed almost entirely on dehydration or electrolytes. Today's research paints a more complete picture. Your nerves act like the electrical wiring of your body. They guide every step, every movement, every quiet stretch of your calf while you sleep. But as those nerves age, they can become overly reactive. Recent studies show that a single motor neuron in the calf can misfire without warning, sending a sudden burst of electrical activity into the muscle. That burst becomes the cramp you feel so sharply. Researchers have also discovered that vitamin B12 plays a far larger role in this process than we once realized. Low B12 levels weaken the insulation around the nerves, making them more likely to misfire. Even a mild deficiency can create a surprising amount of nerve instability. Many seniors walk around with this problem for years without knowing it. Another important finding is how early nerve compression can show itself. A slight pinch in the lower back or a bit of pressure around the sciatic nerve can make the nerves in the legs jumpy and unpredictable. In fact, many cramps appear months before a person notices numbness, tingling, or weakness. All of this new research tells us something hopeful. When we support the nerves, calm them, and nourish them properly, the frequency and intensity of cramps often decrease dramatically. New insights into blood flow and oxygenation. As we continue exploring the latest research, another key theme appears again and again. Your muscles need steady, reliable oxygen. When that oxygen supply drops, even for a short moment, the calf muscles become tense, irritable, and prone to sudden cramping. Researchers now understand that this oxygen dip happens far more often at night, especially in seniors. During sleep, your heart rate slows and your circulation shifts. The blood naturally pools more in the lower legs, and the muscles do not receive the same rich oxygen flow they enjoy during the day. New imaging studies show that calves in older adults experience measurable drops in oxygen around 2 to 4 hours after falling asleep. This is one of the reasons cramps often strike between midnight and dawn. Another surprising discovery involves the tiny arteries that feed the calf muscles. Even mild form of peripheral artery narrowing can lead to what scientists now call silent oxygen starvation. It may not cause pain while walking, and you may never notice it during your normal routine. But at night, when blood flow slows, the muscle becomes vulnerable to spasms. Researchers also learned that walking posture affects oxygenation more than anyone expected. When the foot rotates inward or outward, or when strides are too long, the calf contracts inefficiently. Over time, this reduces the muscle's ability to receive oxygen and recover properly. All of these findings reinforce a powerful truth. Leg cramps are rarely random. They are often the body's quiet response to subtle changes in circulation, many of which can be improved with awareness and simple adjustments. Vitamin and mineral deficiencies in new studies. As we look deeper into the newest research, another theme becomes impossible to ignore. Many seniors experience leg cramps, not because of age or dehydration, but because their bodies are quietly running low on certain vitamins and minerals that keep nerves and muscles stable. These deficiencies are far more common than most people realize, and studies now show they play a bigger role in cramping than older medical advice ever acknowledged. Vitamin D is the first major factor. Researchers found that low vitamin D can disrupt the body's calcium regulation, which directly affects how muscles contract and relax. When levels drop too low, muscles become tense and reactive at night, almost as if they are waiting for the next cramp to strike. Seniors often have lower vitamin D simply because the skin absorbs less sunlight with age. Vitamin B12 deficiency has also become a leading focus in recent studies. This vitamin supports nerve function, and when it is lacking, nerves become unstable and fire more easily. Many seniors with persistent cramps later discovered they were low in B12 long before any blood test suggested a problem. Magnesium, once thought to be the primary cause of cramps, is now understood to be only part of a much bigger picture. Research shows that magnesium works best when vitamin D and B12 are in balance. Without them, magnesium alone cannot fully calm the muscles. These findings remind us that the body operates as a team. When one nutrient falls out of balance, the entire system feels it. Cramps are often the earliest whisper that something deeper needs attention. And the good news is that most deficiencies are easily correctable once identified. Weather and environmental triggers, backed by science. As we continue exploring these new findings, another surprising connection keeps emerging from study after study. Weather changes, something none of us can control, have a powerful effect on how muscles and nerves behave, especially in older adults. Many seniors have told me, half joking and half serious, that their legs warn them about a temperature drop or a storm long before the weather forecast does. Now the science finally explains why. Researchers discovered that when temperatures fall, even by just a few degrees, the blood vessels in the lower legs narrow almost instantly. This reduces the amount of warm, oxygen-rich blood reaching the muscles. A cooler muscle becomes tighter, stiffer, and more likely to cramp during the night. Barometric pressure shifts are another hidden trigger. When the air pressure drops before rain or storms, tissues in the legs expand slightly. This tiny change puts added pressure on already sensitive nerves. In younger bodies, nerves usually adapt without issues. In older adults, where nerve insulation has thinned over time, this small expansion can be enough to spark a sudden spasm. Humidity changes also matter more than we once believed. High humidity can cause subtle dehydration even when you are indoors, and low humidity can dry tissues and make muscles feel achy or tight. Both situations increase the likelihood of cramps hours later. These environmental triggers may feel unpredictable, but understanding them gives seniors a remarkable advantage. Instead of feeling confused or helpless, they can start noticing patterns, preparing ahead of weather changes, and protecting their legs before cramps begin. Hidden lifestyle triggers revealed in new studies. As scientists dug deeper into the patterns behind leg cramps, they realized that many triggers come not from big medical problems, but from small daily habits most seniors never think twice about. These habits build up tension in the calves and nerves throughout the day, and that tension finally releases during the quiet hours of the night in the form of a cramp. One of the most overlooked triggers is long periods of sitting. When seniors spend several hours in the same position, especially on colder days, the calf muscles stay shortened and circulation slows down. This creates a kind of pressure that silently accumulates until the muscles react hours later. Walking posture is another pattern new research is shining a light on. Slight forward leaning, stiff knees, or walking with the feet turned outward creates extra strain on the calves. Many people never feel this strain during the walk itself. Instead, the muscle reacts when the body finally rests. Sleep posture also plays a bigger role than anyone expected. Many seniors naturally point their toes downward while sleeping, especially when lying on their back. This small movement puts the calf into a tightened, contracted position for hours. By the time morning arrives, the muscle is so tense that even a tiny stretch can trigger a cramp. Hydration patterns complete the picture. Seniors often drink less water, especially in winter, to avoid nighttime bathroom trips. Studies show that even mild dehydration makes nerves more sensitive, increasing the chances of cramps later in the night. These lifestyle triggers are quiet, subtle, and easy to overlook, but understanding them helps seniors take back control in ways that are practical and empowering. The foot posture connection. Among all the discoveries researchers have made, the connection between foot posture and leg cramps may be one of the most surprising. Most people never imagine that the angle of the foot while standing, walking, or sleeping could influence the way their muscles behave hours later. But now we know this connection is real, powerful, and incredibly common in seniors. New studies show that when the foot rolls too far inward, called overpronation, the calf muscles must work harder with every step. They stay slightly stretched and tense throughout the day, even if the walk feels perfectly normal. The opposite posture, where the foot turns outward, creates a similar strain by shortening parts of the calf that are not meant to carry that load continuously. These small misalignments rarely cause immediate pain. Instead, they act like a quiet tension loop. Each step adds just a little more stress. By evening, the muscles are fatigued. By nighttime, they are primed to cramp. What happens during sleep matters just as much. Many seniors naturally point their toes downward while resting, especially if blankets are heavy or if they sleep on their stomach. That toe-pointing posture shortens the calf for hours. When the muscle is held in that position overnight, the nerves become more sensitive and the muscle becomes more reactive. A simple stretch or even a shift in position can trigger a sudden, painful spasm. Understanding foot posture gives seniors a new sense of power. Once they recognize how the foot aligns during the day and night, they can make small adjustments that dramatically reduce cramping and restore comfort. New research on how to stop cramps. As more studies emerged, something encouraging became clear. Even though leg cramps feel unpredictable, the solutions are far more accessible than most seniors realize. New research shows that easing nerve sensitivity and improving muscle stability does not require extreme adjustments. Instead, the most effective strategies are gentle, consistent, and surprisingly simple. Scientists found that stretching before bed works better than stretching in the morning. A light stretch of the calves, held for just 20 to 30 seconds, helps calm the motor neurons that become overactive at night. It is not about forcing flexibility. It is about giving the muscles a moment to release the tightness they have collected throughout the day. Warmth is another tool that studies strongly support. A warm shower, a heating pad, or even a warm towel placed on the calves increases oxygen flow and relaxes deep muscle fibers. Many seniors report that warmth alone reduces nighttime spasms within a few days. Research also shows that magnesium applied to the skin, such as through a lotion, can be especially effective for older adults whose digestion and absorption slow with age. The topical form allows the mineral to reach the muscles directly, reducing irritation and helping the muscle relax fully. Daily movement plays a major role too. Short walks, even 5 to 10 minutes at a time, reduce cramp frequency by improving circulation without overwhelming the muscles. When combined with small posture corrections, this daily movement resets the calf's natural rhythm. Vitamin D and B12 supplementation have shown meaningful improvements in studies as well. When nerve balance improves, cramps decrease. The message from the research is hopeful. With small, steady habits, seniors can dramatically reduce cramps and reclaim peaceful nights. When cramps signal underlying medical issues. Even with all the new research pointing to posture, nerves, circulation, and vitamin balance, there is an important truth every senior should keep in mind. Sometimes leg cramps are not just cramps. Sometimes they are early signals of something deeper that needs attention. This is why researchers urge seniors not to ignore patterns that keep repeating or symptoms that slowly intensify over time. For example, studies now show that frequent nighttime cramps can be one of the earliest signs of developing neuropathy, long before numbness or tingling appear. When nerves become irritated or compressed, even slightly, they misfire more easily. What begins as an occasional spasm can slowly become a regular nighttime disturbance. Circulation problems can send similar early warnings. Narrowing arteries may reduce blood flow long before a person notices daytime leg fatigue or difficulty walking. The first clue may simply be a cramp that always arrives at the same time of night, or a calf that feels cooler than the rest of the body. Researchers have also identified connections between cramps and thyroid imbalance, or metabolic disorders. When the body's internal rhythms shift, muscles and nerves respond quickly, often through tightness or spasms. Seniors who begin new medications may also notice more cramping, especially with statins, diuretics, or certain blood pressure treatments. These findings are not meant to alarm, but to empower. When cramps follow a clear pattern, arrive with new symptoms, or grow stronger over time, it is worth having a conversation with a doctor. Early evaluation gives seniors the chance to address an issue before it becomes a larger concern. Understanding these warning signs helps older adults stay ahead of their health rather than feeling at the mercy of their symptoms. Bringing it all together. As we bring all these discoveries together, a powerful message becomes clear. Leg cramps are rarely caused by one single problem. They arise from a combination of nerve sensitivity, circulation shifts, posture habits, vitamin balance, and even changes in the environment. This is why so many seniors feel confused or frustrated. The cramps seem random, yet new research shows there is always a pattern underneath, always a root that can be understood. For many older adults, the most surprising finding is how connected the body truly is. A slight change in how the feet strike the ground during walking can affect calf oxygenation later that evening. A small drop in nighttime temperature can tighten muscles that were already tired from the day. A mild vitamin deficiency can make nerves fire too quickly. And long periods of sitting can quietly load tension into muscles that finally release through a painful spasm hours later. Researchers now emphasize that leg cramps are not a sign of declining strength or aging failure. They are signals, whispers from the body asking for balance, warmth, movement, and proper nourishment. Seniors who begin paying attention to these cues often experience remarkable improvement. A few minutes of stretching, a simple footwear change, a small shift in hydration habits, or correcting a vitamin deficiency can completely transform how the legs feel at night. This new understanding gives seniors something many thought they had lost: a sense of control. By learning how muscles, nerves, and circulation truly behave, they gain the power to reduce cramps, sleep better, and move with more confidence. Knowledge becomes a tool for freedom, and even small daily choices begin to shape healthier, more comfortable nights. As we come to the end of our time together, I want you to take a breath and let everything we've explored settle gently in your mind. Leg cramps, especially the surprising causes revealed by new research, can feel confusing, frustrating, even discouraging at times. But I hope you leave this video with something far more important than information. I hope you leave with reassurance and renewed confidence. Leg cramps are not signs of failure. They are not proof that you are getting weak or that your best years are behind you. They are messages. They are your body's way of speaking to you, asking for balance, warmth, nourishment, movement, or simply attention. Every sensation you feel is part of a conversation between you and the body that has carried you through decades of life. Those legs have supported you through work, family, love, loss, joy, and every step of your journey. They deserve understanding and care, not frustration. What we now know from new research is empowering. Even small changes in posture, hydration, daily habits, or nutritional balance can make a significant difference. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. Improvement is possible at 60, 70, 80, and beyond. When you listen closely to your body instead of waiting for the pain to shout, you open the door to comfort and to healing. Your health is a lifelong relationship. Treat it with patience, curiosity, and love. And remember that you never have to walk this path alone. I'm here, and this community is here to support you. If this video brought you clarity, comfort, or hope, I invite you to subscribe, like, and share Senior Health Daily. Together, we can continue learning, growing, and caring for the bodies that have carried us so far.